Hello everybody. This demonstration is for our year 2, 3, and 4 painting students. As a year 1 student, I teach you how to stretch canvas, but fabric, on wood that they need to cut because it's a lot cheaper. But as a year 2, 3, and 4, we do upgrade and you start using these pre-made stretchers. So they're nice, they're a little pricey, but that's kind of the advantage of being a year 2, 3, or 4 student is that you can start using these. We have a bunch of these. They're in the back room behind my desk, in the very top shelf, so you probably have to grab a chair or something to stand on to reach them. They're labeled on the tab there. And if I say, make something that is 18 by 24, and we're all out of 18 stretchers, and you see a stretcher bar, that is like 17 inches, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't matter that much. Do be a little cautious that if you do have one of the cubbies, in that side room over there, is that you cannot exceed 18 inches. Otherwise, it won't fit in. But you should have all your cubbies in here, and those are quite a bit wider. So I have two 18s, two 24s. I'm going to reposition the camera so you can kind of look down here and see how this is done. Thanks. Okay, so I have my stretchers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to put them together. So there's not really a front or a back on this. Just make sure you get the 24 opposite of the 24, and then the 18 opposite of the 18. If they get a little hard for you to put on, you can always grab a hammer to help you get that in place. Because you do want them tight. I mean, we will be locking them in place, but sometimes it is nice to have a little hammer to help just kind of push around a little bit to grab it. Okay, so right in this corner right here, I'm sure it's a little hard to see, but it's sticking out a little bit. So I just want to tap that in place and really try to make sure I have some nice corners here. Make sure that it's all as tight as you can get it. Second thing is you got to make sure that it's square, because you can have this almost like a trapezoid. So what we do is you measure from corner to corner, and they should be the same. So this is like exactly 30, and this one is 28 and 3/4. So it's not. So I'm going to knock this in a little bit. Try that again. So that's 29 and 3/4. And that's 30. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. I don't know, it's 30 and 3/4. Just need just a little bit. That might have worked right there, because that's 29 and 7/8. 29 and 7/8. So that's square. Now they are really both the same on both sides. I'm going to treat this as my back. Now we're going to lock it in place. So I'm going to grab one of our staple guns here, and I want to go in and put a staple and lock these in place. Now there's a little groove right here that I line up with that groove there, so then I know I got it right in the center. And if you don't want to do this and you want to go cut the wood and measure it and cut it, and you're welcome to do that. Just when I can, I try to upgrade so you guys can have some of the nicer stuff. Okay, and I know people also put a little dab of glue, on those little tabs, and they stick them in there as well. It's just another way of keeping it a little more secure. Okay, so this is all set, and it's ready for us to stretch our fabric. It's the same way, so if you already know how to stretch fabric, after I show you where the stuff is at, you can just kind of skip the next part of the video. But I'm going to show you where that is at. It's right behind me. So you're going to see these large rolls, and this is our canvas. We keep scrap canvas down below here. 18 by 24 is a little on the larger side, so I don't think you would have anything that would necessarily fit that. If you did like smaller, pieces, like if you ended up doing this for like a fluid painting and you're keeping them 12 by 12, or you want to do a long piece, you can grab those scrap pieces down there. Okay. So I need to cut this out, and I'm just going to kind of switch over to time lapse, and I'm going to cut out a square, that's a couple inches, because I want to make sure that I can fold that over. So let's open this up and get this cut out. Okay, so I have this all cut out. I can easily pull this over on all these, so it'll be easy for me to stretch. Okay. So next step is I'm going to make sure that, again, there's not a big difference, but I guess I will make sure that my canvas is down, board is here, I can see where my staples are at, so this is my back. Not that it really matters, but just so I have it. Now, just like before, you staple the middles first, so I'm going to go in. Just kind of double checking a couple things here. My canvas has some stickers on it. Should not affect anything because you're just going to gesso the whole thing anyways. Okay, now we can just, so I bring this up. Now, stretching it means that I'm going to grab it. Maybe I can zoom in here so you can see. And I'm going to really pull this. You can see it kind of gets tight right here. And then staple. Flip this over. The first one you don't wrench on because otherwise it pulls it too much the other way. So, but just, give it some tension. After that, you're going to go in. You can just go kind of start here and work your way around. Again, you don't need a whole line of silver, but I probably will have about 2 on this side. Again, pull up. If you have, the better it's stretched, the easier it is to paint, because you don't want any ripples in there at all. Now you can go over to Walmart and buy these, and they're not terribly expensive. And when I was in college, there were guys that used to make stretchers for, people that wanted to paint. If they didn't want to make it for themselves and they didn't want to go buy it, they would make it for them. It'd be cheaper. And you can kind of get the size you want. As a way that they kind of made some money. Almost got it. Again, I'm always pulling up. One more side, and then we're going to take care of the corners. Okay. Now, if you remember, I do have an electronic staple gun right here. So you can always plug that in if you have a hard time using that. This one is pretty nice, so you can use that. Now you got to deal with the corners. Now, like any painting that you end up doing, you want to kind of think about what the top and the bottom is, because you can do a wraparound, style painting. If I was to do a painting like this, where this is the top, I want to make sure that my corner here is actually folded on the top, because then on the side you don't see that fold. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that my top is going to be this part. So I'm going to fold it over. Get that in. And I'm going to do that on all the sides. So I have a folded corner right there. Get that all tucked in. Same thing here. Top is going to be portrait orientation. So I'm going to fold that corner so it's on the top of the portrait so you don't see the side. So now that's all completed. Okay, so now on the side of here, it's nice and clean. On the very bottom, you have that little notch on there. It's not like it looks bad, you know, but it doesn't look as good as it could be. And this is nice and tight. It's a little loose right here, but you can feel it, and then it dips down a little bit. But this is still very well painted. Now, unless you want to make, which you perfectly can, make a wooden frame for this when you're done with it, you can do your painting so it wraps around. You don't have to worry about making a frame. So just kind of keep that in mind as you are working on this. Otherwise, same thing will happen. You'll put 2 screws here and a wire so you can hang this up, and when you're all done with it, and that's how you stretch your stuff. So get it all gessoed up, gesso the sides, just in case you decide that wraparound, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.